Hey everybody, it's Reverend Lynn just popping in to say hello and give you a few words of encouragement. I've been thinking about you guys today. As I look forward to working with so many of you in this new system, this law of attraction, making it work for you system. I've been having a lot of little thoughts, memories of experiences that I've had, and I kind of wanted to share some of them with you because I'm thinking that some of you are on the edge of making that choice, that decision to step out there and once again take a chance on yourself and achieve your goals. And it occurred to me that some of you may be a little hesitant because you're dealing with that hype, that talk, that stuff. So I'm here to say, don't believe the hype. And what hype am I talking about? I'm talking about the things that people tell you when you try to do something new, or maybe it's the stuff you tell yourself when you're stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to, pursue your dreams, because it can be a scary thing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the stuff like, who do you think you are? Trying to get out there and do something special. And you actually could have some challenges from family members that are real, but if you really want to pursue your dreams, or you really know you need to make that step because your finances are messed up, or you're past the age of corporate preferability, and the only way that you and your family are going to survive is if you can step out there and make your dream work, start that business, start that new independent contractor career, whatever it is you're trying to do to survive all of this stuff that we're dealing with. Many retirees thought they were retiring with benefits and incomes and what have you. Some companies are not there anymore. Others are reducing benefits, and others just don't have it, as their companies have been bought out and they're disappearing. So, and there's other stuff that people say to you, or you say to yourself like, oh, that's too hard, you can't do it. Or, hey, you might fail, you might get hurt, you might lose everything. Well, yeah, that's a real risk, but for a lot of us, we've lost it already, and the only way for us to go is up. And so, it's kind of like, what do you got to lose? Go for it. You could also succeed. And then there's stuff like you don't know what you're doing. And that you'll hear a lot from partners or family members who are trying to protect you. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of times we don't feel like we know what we're doing. But that's okay, because this is an adventure. And if you're going to be successful at doing something you've never done before, yeah, you don't know what you're doing. But that's why I'm here, because I've learned a lot and I do know what I'm doing. So, and then there's this last one that I call the worst one, and that's the one that says, you're not ready yet. You still got to have this happen. You still got to do this. You still got to learn that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you know what? It's all the stuff that gets in your way and stops you in your tracks. And I know them all personally because I've experienced every single one of them, and a lot of them did stop me in my tracks. That's why it's taken so long for me to get to this point. But I'm here now to help you so that you don't have to go through all of that, all the delays and the experiences of lack and limitation that can really wear you down. They suck the life out of you. They take away your self-confidence. They undermine your self-esteem, so that by the time you get around to really feeling like, okay, everything is ready, I finally got this, that, and the other, you're so tired and worn out emotionally and spiritually that you may not make it through anyway. So, it's time for you to make a decision. It's time for you to get past all that talk. And as far as that last one, you're not ready yet, I call it the worst negative self-talk, or talk from other people, because it's the one that really takes you from taking that final step into your own magnificence. And was it Maya Angelou says, it's not, most of us are really terrified of our own greatness. It's not the small stuff that terrifies us. It's the fact that we just might succeed, and that will change things. But I don't know of one successful person out there that regrets their success. I mean, think about it. Everybody that succeeds steps into that place of magnificence and love and joy, and they're happy to succeed. So, it's an illusion that our egos and our inner child gives us, because it's also a self-protecting mechanism, because it means that, as long as we don't change, as long as things stays the same, we're safe. And the truth of the matter is, that couldn't be more wrong, because as long as things stay the same and nothing changes, we're in a lot of trouble. We're at risk, and there's a lot of pain and misery that goes along with it. So don't think that because you are feeling, that you're not ready yet, that you're not ready. Because the truth is, The moment is now. You'll never be ready. It's time to stop procrastinating and giving ourselves excuses for not moving forward by waiting for that perfect moment. Truth is, that perfect moment is never going to come. So the time is now. It's just a matter of waiting for that perfect moment for us to be ready when we know everything we need to know and we're making all the money we need to make and blah, blah, blah. Do you realize that until you get out there and start doing something, you're not going to make all the money you need to make? So that's not happening. So get over it. Get over your fears and recognize that that's just an excuse to procrastinate. You keep putting your success somewhere off in the future instead of embracing it now. So what do you think will happen if you do take that step into Wonderland, off into your own magnificence, your own success? One of the things that will happen if you wait too long is you're going to have this sense of regret for all the time you wasted, because once you get there and find out how wonderful it is, you go, what was I thinking? What was I waiting for? All that struggle, all that strife, all that stuff I went through. Then you're going to be beating yourself up because you waited so long. So, it's like you're not in a win-win situation until you decide to take that step and take action. Believe me, I know, because I was one of those waiting for everything to be perfect before I could step out there and do something. And you know what? I just decided this time, I'm going to do it anyway. The perfect time is now, where I am, starting where I'm from, and building from here. And because of this, it gives me a sense of understanding and awareness and vulnerability, because I'm just like you. I'm in the same place that you are in or have been. And I'm coming to you from an authentic place of saying, I've blazed this trail already. I've been down that road. I'm standing down here with a light, holding it up for you to find your way to. And you don't have to cut through all the jungle and the bush with the machete. I've already done it. All you got to do is follow the path and believe in yourself, because I believe in you. So the other thing I wanted to talk about or kind of mention is, you're going to have all those naysayers and all the skeptics who think at least they believe they have our best interests at heart. And sometimes these are loving family members and friends, who just don't want to see us fail. They don't want to see us get hurt. But in their well-intended efforts to protect us, what they're really doing is preventing us from realizing our dreams. And now they don't see it that way, because they really have their good intentions. But in the end, what they really do is they stop us from succeeding. They stop us from having all the things we want. And they keep us miserable, because now we're stuck in this place. And all we're doing is getting more and more mired in the nonsense. But your biggest enemy is going to be yourself, the one who's full of negative self-talk and fear. It's really your inner child just trying to keep you from doing things that make you uncomfortable, because once you're uncomfortable, you're out of your comfort zone, that means things are changing. That means you're growing and expanding. And to the little kid inside of you, that little child that we, need to take care of and nurture, we do. But that little kid is the one that's saying, no, don't do that. No, mommy, no, daddy, no. And we need to do what we do when our children are scared, just like we do a little kid. We comfort them, we embrace them, we assure them it's going to be okay. And then we walk through it with them. So compare the feelings of that little kid to those that run through your mind when you're getting ready to get on a roller coaster ride. When you're some scary ride in an amusement park, and you have that thought for a moment, oh, should I really do this? Oh, I'm gonna, you don't really think about dying up there, but do you think about, it's going to scare the life out of me, I'm probably going to have a heart attack, but it's that same emotion at the heart of it. But the amusement park ride, you just buy your ticket, you walk through it anyway, you laugh, you joke around, you buy your ticket, you walk through the turnstile, you get in and happily strap yourself in and hold on, you white knuckle it, and you go for the thrill ride of your life. The difference is that when that ride is over, there's really very little reward, because there's also very little risk. The moment the ride ends, that's it. No money, no success, no dreams coming true, nothing. And the thing is, you got to pay, you got the opportunity to pay for somebody else's dreams to come true. The owner of the amusement park is making tons of money giving us thrills. But all we do is we get, a happy smile, and we're off to the next thrill ride and happily to pay more money. Now, on the other hand, when you go for your dreams, there are huge rewards at the end of the ride. And it's a ride. Don't think it's not. It can be just like the roller coaster. But at the end of this ride, there's money, there's success, there's recognition, and there's joy and eagerness and excitement because you've achieved your goals, and now your dreams are coming true, and you're living the life that you want, and you're driving the car you want, and you got money in your pocket, and you're taking people for rides, and you may be taking the family to the amusement park or going on cruises. I was just watching this morning on The View. What's his name? The guy that's scared of germs. Pauly Shore. No, not Pauly Shore. I can't think of his name right now. I can see his face. But anyway, he was talking about all of his family's going on a cruise for Christmas. He puts everybody on a boat, 31 people, and they all spend a week cruising together. I mean, what if you could do that for your family? What if you haven't seen your family for a long time and you could have the money now to pull everybody together in a reunion and go on a cruise and do whatever you want to do? It is so worth the risk. But to get to that point, you got to walk through your stuff. Now, I know this to be true, and that's why I created this system. I know that it's worth the risk. It's also why I priced it so everyone can enroll in it. And sometimes we get into this thing of, well, it's really really inexpensive. It's cheap. Is it really worth it? Is it real? Am I really going to learn anything new? Well, yeah, you're going to learn something new. You're going to see a whole different technique, what you don't find from most coaches, because this is pure content. It's pure working practice. This is not going to be sitting back and watching some videos and, no, you're going to work. I got homework. There's practices. There's stuff that you're going to have to do. And it's a commitment. It really is. But it's worth it, every penny. And that's one of the reasons I'm increasing the price. It's going to be worth a lot more, it's going to cost you a lot more very shortly. But the reason I did this little special promo is because I want to reach a certain audience. Like I said, I promised Spirit that if I got to a certain point, I would pay it forward. I would give it back. And that really is the method to my madness. Some may feel, that it's lightweight, that you don't, some people think, you get what you pay for. Well, sometimes that's true and sometimes that's not true. You can pay a lot of money for a class and you can get a lot out of it. You can pay a lot of money for a class and get absolutely nothing, and you can pay a little bit sometimes for some things and get absolute quality. So price is really not the determining factor. For instance, let's just take, a very simple example here. You can buy a bottle of vinegar, the gallon size, costs you maybe $1.30, might be less than that depending on where you get it. And you mix it with water and you can clean your house, and it's just pennies for cleaning your house. And because it's a big bottle and you mix it in buckets of water, it'll last for a long time. And because it's so cheap, you can buy as much as you need to. It's environmentally friendly, it's non-allergenic, you don't have to use gloves, it's like a win-win. And once it's done, it doesn't burn your nose. Once you get through, the vinegar smell evaporates and everything is nice and clean and shiny, and it even cleans your windows without streaking, mirrors and things like that. But you can also pay $7 or $9 for a cleaning product that burns your eyes, it's toxic to your skin, you got to wear gloves to use it, and you get a few cleanings before you have to buy some more. And your dogs and cats don't like the way it smells, and that's one of the reasons why they mess up the floor when you get through cleaning. If they don't like the strong smell of your cleaning product, that's why they'll wet the floor. They're trying to fix it. Didn't think about that, did you? But that is why sometimes they do that. It burns their noses. So if you got little kids crawling around on this, stuff that you clean the floor with, or the counters and things, that stuff it's there with the residue, and your kids are, licking the floor and their hands and all. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So price isn't always a true indicator of quality, and in this particular case, I guarantee you it is not. So in this instance, looking at it from price is not, that has nothing to do with what you're buying. The reason I priced it this way is to give those of you who are struggling financially an opportunity to finally break through and get what you need to get out of this pit, this lack of limitation, this struggle. I was in your shoes for way too long, and it just breaks my heart to know that so many of you are still there and you can't afford to buy the programs that'll help you make the changes you need. When I was struggling, I needed to make more money. I'd been unemployed unemployed for a long time. I've only had one job in 7 years, and that lasted for 18 months. I got laid off in January 2010. I have not had a job since then, and it was hard. The corporate world has decided I'm too old to be a good employee because I'm way over 50 now. And there were times when I couldn't pay the rent, could barely buy food, and I had to let my car go because I couldn't afford the payment and insurance. Been there, done that. Yeah, I know what it's like. I'm telling you, I know. I've walked this path, and I'm doing this to try to help you get out of it sooner. But I needed to make my own way. I knew that at my age and with the circumstances and the economy and everything, that the only way I was going to make it, and that all of us basically going to make it, is if we find a way to do it ourselves. We baby boomers are having to do once more what we were put here on the earth to do. When we were young, we started changing the world. We have made great changes for women, for children, for the environment, everything. The baby boomers came through just shifting our thoughts, creating new paradigms and what have you. And guess what? We're being called upon to do that one more time. We're the ones who are going to redefine what it means to retire, to be older, to become a mature citizen, and not have to, and not go crawl off someplace and die. The way things are now, we are being forced to create this new paradigm of what it means to be older and prosperous and wealthy. And fortunately, all of this information about the law of attraction and the manifestations and the things that we're doing to heal ourselves now is the way it's going to happen for us. But like I said, I was broke and I had to make my own way, but I couldn't afford a personal coach. I knew I needed one, but there just wasn't enough money. And I got tired of feeling inferior and put down because no one would work with me because I couldn't afford their high fees. Being broke for so long, I had borrowed from all the friends I could. I didn't have family anymore because most of them had passed on, and I was pretty much by myself and out in the cold. And I felt like no one cared. I felt like no one cared about what happened to me. And so I got to the point where I kind of disconnected my emotions because I felt like I don't belong here. This is not for me. I want to leave this planet. And there were times when I prayed for God, please don't let me wake up. It's too hard. It's too painful. I can't do this anymore. And I wake up the next morning and I was still here. I'm still here. So after 2 or 3 of those episodes, I kind of woke up and said, okay, obviously I'm going to be here for a while. So instead of praying to leave, I started praying and asking for, okay, tell me what to do. What is it you want me to do? Tell me how to do it. Show me. I'm willing. I'm open. I'm surrendering here. Take me, do something, because this is just not working for me. What came out of that was this. What I put in this program is what came out of that. And it was marvelous in the way it unfolded and the information that came through. Because I was determined. I was bound and determined. I figured, I was not one to give up. I've never been one to give up easily. And I was determined to make it. I don't care what anybody said. I've been working on my dream for years, but the progress was so slow. And like I said, I was just like, the poster child for loss, lack, and limitation, and what it meant to not make it. I cried a lot, I prayed a lot, and I struggled. But after a while, things started to come together, and I started to find my way. After taking several free coaching, sessions to try to get the information I needed, I started to learn. I got enough from the free sessions, from the different people and the free webinars to put the pieces together. And I prayed for courage, strength, and guidance. And I asked for clarity and acceptance so I could walk in faith and change and believe in myself and do what it would take to make it. I was a woman on a mission, and failure was not an option because obviously I wasn't getting ready to die. So the only other alternative was find a way to live. And live wondrously. It wasn't like I didn't want to live average. No, I had to live magnificently. After all the pain and suffering I'd been through, I deserved it, and I'd have it no other way. So my motto became never give up, never surrender. And after a long while, things started falling into place. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to blaze that same trail. You don't have to do it the way I did it. There's hope. There's a way, and this is it. I guarantee you, and the reason I say I guarantee you is because if you don't like what this program teaches you and you're not having progress and seeing things happen after you've worked on it for 90 days, because it takes that long for you to learn the tools, get into the habit of using them, and to see things really start to shift. It took me about, I started seeing results in about 3 weeks. I manifested this great apartment, which you have pictures of. I've put pictures on my fan page. That took me about 3 weeks, but for some reason that was just perfect. It lined up. And I think it had to do a lot with Spirit putting me in the position to get to where I am now. But the rest of it has taken about 90 days, to get things really working and flowing. And now I'm getting opportunities coming in left and right. The most recent one is I, work sometimes with real estate investors, and I worked with this guy and met him a few weeks ago and tried to put some things together for him, and it just didn't work out. Well, he calls me on Saturday to ask me if I could see if I could find some more information, some more product for him. And I was like, okay. I was going to have to go back to this old supplier that I really didn't like to work with. But I said, okay. And then today, in my inbox, pops in some product from another supplier that's already ready to go, and I sent it to him this afternoon, and he's ready to buy. So I'm like, feeling like, wow, this could really happen quickly. So, it's a matter of putting that information out there, learning what you need to do, and there's a little piece of information that's in my system that you're not finding too many other places. In fact, it's something that's just started to come together and being taught by other mentors. I won't say it's new, because nothing in the universe is new, but we just started to come together and understand what this little piece is. It really is. It's like the missing link. And once you get it, it's like plug it into a socket. I tell you, it's wonderful. So once you get into the system and you start using the tools, you're going to have so much fun. First of all, things in your life are going to change. Not just making more money, but you're going to sleep better. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. People are going to love you more because you're going to feel better about yourself. And this time you'll learn what you need to learn, and you'll have the support and encouragement to restore your self-confidence and turn that corner. Because I'm here to help. I believe in you. I know you can do it, and I know you're going to be telling me, and I can't wait to hear it. Lynn, I don't believe it. It's everything you said, and things are turning around. Thank you so much. That's not my ego talking. That's me being happy to say, I'm so glad I could help you out. So just check me out. Let's have some fun together, and gosh, let's go make some money. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Love and light to you always.